Another attempt by Netflix to conquer the action blockbuster genre with an A-list superstar at the helm. This time they've got Gal Gadot facing her impossible mission. Let's talk about Heart of Stone. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Netflix film Heart of Stone. This is streaming right now and features Gal Gadot as an MI6 operative facing a very tough mission. Some might say a mission impossible. At least I think Netflix would like you to sort of compare the two films favorably, but we'll launch into that in just a second. Let me first welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thanks for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out. I try to post something new just about every day for you, so check out a lot of the videos on my channel here. Please consider subscribing as well. That helps me out, of course, and like this video, comment down below. All that stuff does help the channel, and I certainly appreciate it. So let's get into this one. I review so many movies. It seems like there's one a month with this sort of template on Netflix. Some of them have branched out to the other streamers. I did one earlier this year with Chris Evans and Amanda Armas called Ghosted on, I think that was Apple TV. And they're all pretty generic, honestly. You know, there really is no substitute, it seems, for going to the cinema and seeing, you know, the big blockbuster action franchises that we know and love already. John Wick 4 was a great example this year. Also, the new Mission Impossible, of course. Even the Indiana Jones movie, Dial of Destiny, was pretty good. But, you know, these streamers keep churning out basically the same type of movie, hoping that, you know, oh, well, if people like this star, maybe they'll check out this movie. I just did one a couple of weeks ago on Netflix with, oh, was it it was Jackie Chan. Was Johnny Knoxville the other guy? I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and I can't even remember who the other. Oh no, it was John Cena. That's who it was. John Cena and Jackie Chan. It's like. So now we've got this one, Gal Gadot, doing similar stuff to all the other people. In fact, the log line here is that she is an international intelligence operative who must embark on a dangerous mission to protect a mysterious artificial intelligence system known as the Heart. That's almost the substitute the Heart for whatever they called it in Mission Impossible. I mean, it's basically Dead Reckoning. Except instead of, you know, Tom Cruise doing his own stunts and being amazing, and we already know a lot of the characters in that franchise from so many years of movies. You know, here we have Gal Gadot against a green screen backdrop, and admittedly, there are some interesting action sequences, I suppose, but the script here is not very good, and they are so eager to launch right into the action that you never really care about any of these characters. So when, you know, certain people die or whatever, it's just like, okay, cool, that happened. And I felt the same about, I just reviewed this movie, which was in theaters, The Meg 2, The Trench. But, you know, I don't think they're going for high art there necessarily, you know, so much. But, you know, I had a similar issue. There were people that died in that movie, and I'm just like, okay, you know, I could either see that coming because they were basically a Star Trek Red Shirt equivalent, or you just didn't know anything about them. So you're like, okay, well, they're probably going to kill them because who cares? That was this movie kind of in a nutshell. And I admit, Gadot, you know, is obviously, you know, a great presence on the screen. And look, there is a Netflix action movie that I do defend, and it featured Gal Gadot as well as The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. It was Red Notice. And I think I maybe gave that a B- or something. It's definitely one of the better efforts that they've had. But part of that was the chemistry of the three leads. They were all essentially kind of playing themselves. You know, it was a heist movie and whatever. So it was a little more, I don't know, interesting, I guess. Here, there's not really anybody else for her to play off of. Yeah, there's other people in the movie, obviously, and some of the other people include Jamie Dornan. We know him from many, many things. Matthias Schweighöfer, Sophie Oquendo. So I've seen these people in other things, but she's not necessarily like playing off of them like she did with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds in Red Notice. And just the fact that this storyline is so similar to the excellent Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 from just, what, a month and a half ago or something. It just makes it that much more generic bland, whatever you want to say. But she does have an on-screen presence, and I know that her and the filmmakers were hoping to make this into a franchise. She's one of the producers of this movie. This was directed, by the way, by somebody I wasn't super familiar with, Tom Harper. The only thing I really knew him from was directing that second Woman in Black movie, which who even remembers the first one, let alone the second one. And then he's done, a bunch of BBC shows like Peaky Blinders and stuff. But I'm not too familiar with him. And it looks like he just kind of took every sort of, template in the book for these action blockbusters and said, okay, well, let's put Gal Gadot in this situation. Let's put her in this situation. Let's have her kicking this guy's butt. And it all, I guess works to some degree for what it is, but none of it is at all original. And especially when compared to Dead Reckoning. I mean, when Tom Cruise is out there giving it his all, doing his own stunts. Gadot's presence will sell this, I think, more than it might have been sold with somebody else in the lead. I do admit that. She's always been a charismatic screen presence, from Wonder Woman to even the comedies that she does. She was in a heist movie too, wasn't it? Was it Masterminds? I forget. There was a bunch of that kind of came out at the same time, but I think maybe that was the one she was in. But she always has a really good on-screen presence. And so I can see why they're thinking, okay, let's maybe make this into a franchise or something. And I could potentially see it working, but any future installments would have to have some kind of character development for not only the side characters, but even her. I didn't really know much about her by the end of the movie. So I didn't necessarily care whether she lived or died. And that's obviously not what you want for your, the hero of the film. So if they do provide future installments of this, I think they really need to work on the scripting and the casting, or the character development. But I would be up for a second one if they put a little more effort into it. I leave Heart of Stone with a D+. And you can stream that now if you're so inclined on Netflix. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.